My girlfriend laughed. Pfft, you won't leave, you're too attached. I said, huh? Then I scheduled the breakup talk with a couples counselor, showed up alone, and signed the termination of therapy. When the therapist emailed her the closure notes, she finally understood who was attached. I, 28 male, need to share this because honestly, I'm still processing everything that went down over the past 3 weeks. So I'd been with Brenna for about 2.5 years. We met through a hiking group. She was this vibrant, confident woman who seemed to have her life together. Marketing director at a tech startup, owned her condo, the whole 9 yards. I'm a project manager at a construction firm. Nothing fancy, but I do all right. The first year was great, like legitimately great. But somewhere around year 2, things shifted. She started making these little comments. You're lucky I picked you, she'd say, laughing like it was a joke. Or when we'd argue, where else are you gonna go? You basically live here now. The thing is, she wasn't wrong about the living situation. My lease had ended 6 months ago, and she'd insisted I move in to save money. Seemed logical at the time. Most of my stuff was there. My whole routine revolved around her place. 3 weeks ago, we had this argument about her friend Kendra's wedding. Brenna wanted us to skip it to go to some work retreat in Cabo with her colleagues. I'd already RSVP'd to Kendra months ago. She's actually my friend from college who became friends with Brenna through me. Just tell her something came up, Brenna said, scrolling through her phone. I can't just bail on Kendra's wedding. I'm literally giving a speech. She looked up at me with this smirk. Okay, then go alone. See how that works out for you. Maybe I will. And maybe I'll reconsider this whole relationship while I'm at it. That's when she laughed. Not a nervous laugh or an angry laugh. A genuine, dismissive laugh. Pfft, you won't leave. You're too attached. Your whole life is here. Your gaming setup, your meal prep containers, in my fridge, your little home office corner. Face it, babe, you need this more than I do. I just said, huh. She went back to her phone, probably thinking she'd won. Here's what she didn't know. I'd been seeing a couples counselor. Alone. Started going about 2 months ago when the comments got worse. Dr. Winters had been helping me recognize patterns, set boundaries, figure out what I actually wanted. Brenna thought I was going to the gym those Wednesday evenings. That night, after her little too attached comment, I emailed Dr. Winters and scheduled what I called a resolution session for the following week. Update 1, holy hell, this blew up. Okay, let me tell you what happened next. So I had that appointment with Dr. Winters scheduled for Wednesday. But Brenna, being Brenna, decided to escalate things before then. Sunday morning, she woke me up at 7 a.m. We need to talk about the wedding thing. I was barely conscious. What about it? I talked to my boss. The Cabo trip is actually mandatory for leadership track employees, so you're gonna have to miss the wedding. I told you, I'm in the wedding party. Then quit the wedding party. God, why are you being so difficult? It's just Kendra. Just Kendra. She's been my friend for 8 years. And I'm your girlfriend. Your priorities are seriously messed up if you can't see which one matters more. She grabbed her purse. I'm going to brunch with my mom. When I get back, I expect you to have called Kendra and canceled, and apologized to me for making this into such a thing. She left before I could respond. That's when I started documenting everything. Screenshots of texts where she demanded I skip family events for her work things. The time she threw out my college buddy's wedding invitation because we had plans that weekend. We didn't. The email she sent to my sister calling her needy and pathetic for asking me to help her move. But the real kicker came Monday night. I get home from work and my gaming setup, my entire desktop, monitors, the works, it's all boxed up in the corner. What's this? I asked. Oh, I need that corner for my Peloton. It's being delivered tomorrow. Your computer was taking up too much space anyway. That's my office space. I work from home 2 days a week. You can work from the kitchen table like a normal person. Honestly, the aesthetic of all those cables and LED lights was ruining the feng shui. Y'all, my setup that I'd built over 3 years, that had custom cable management I spent a whole weekend perfecting, was just boxed up like trash. Put it back, I said. Or what? She smiled that same smile. You'll leave, please? Where would you even go? Your buddy Jake's couch? Your sister's place an hour away? Face it, you're stuck here until I decide otherwise. I didn't argue. I just said, okay. She looked surprised but pleased, probably thinking I'd finally accepted my place. Wednesday came. The appointment with Dr. Winters was at 6 p.m. I showed up alone. Update 2. You guys wanted to know what happened at the therapy session. Buckle up. So I walk into Dr. Winters' office Wednesday evening. She knew Brenna wasn't coming. I'd emailed her ahead of time. How are you feeling about your decision, she asked. Ready. I'm done. We spent the full hour documenting everything. Not just for closure, but for the official termination paperwork. See, Dr. Winters has this policy where she provides transition documentation when therapy ends, especially for couples counseling. It includes a summary of sessions, identified patterns, and recommendations for future growth. Here's the thing. Even though Brenna had never attended a single session, I'd registered us both as clients when I started. Filled out all the intake paperwork with both our emails. Been paying the full couples rate this whole time too. As far as the system was concerned, we'd been in couples therapy for 2 months. Dr. Winters pulled up the template. This will be sent to both registered email addresses. You're sure you want to proceed with termination? Absolutely. We crafted that termination summary carefully. Professional, clinical language. Nothing that could be seen as vindictive. Just facts. Client attended 8 sessions individually to address relationship dynamics. Partner declined all invitations to participate in joint sessions. Identified patterns: dismissive attachment, contemptuous communication, financial control tactics. Recommendation: individual therapy for both parties to address incompatible attachment styles. Termination reason: irreconcilable differences acknowledged by attending party. The email would go out automatically Thursday at 9 a.m. from the practice's system. Thursday morning, I was already at work when my phone exploded. What the hell is this email? We're in therapy? You've been going without me? Call me right now. This is insane. You're being dramatic. Seriously, pick up your phone. We need to talk about this. I didn't respond. Had a big presentation at 10 a.m. anyway. But then she escalated. She called my office. My coworker Damon comes over. Your girlfriend's online too. She sounds upset. I picked up because I didn't want her making a scene at my workplace. Therapy, she screeched. You've been pretending we're in therapy? Not pretending. I've been working on our issues. Without me? You were invited. Every week. Check your email. Silence. I could hear her typing. These are in my spam folder, she said. Quieter now. That's not my problem. You terminated our therapy without even telling me? Seemed like the healthiest way to end things. Clean break, professional documentation. End things? End things? You're not ending anything. You live here, your stuff is here. About that, I'll be by Saturday to get my belongings. Like hell you will. You're coming home tonight and we're discussing this like adults. No, I'm not. I'm staying with my sister. Already moved my important documents and medications yesterday while you were at yoga. The silence stretched so long I thought she'd hung up. You planned this? I've been planning it for 2 months, Brenna. You just never noticed because you assumed I was too attached to leave. This is about that comment? Jesus, I was joking. No, you weren't. You can't just leave. We have the Cabo trip. My company thinks you're coming. I already submitted your name for the +1. Better update that. My mom's birthday dinner is next week. We have reservations. Take someone else. Stop being so calm about this. I'm hanging up now. I'll see you Saturday for my things. Please have them accessible. I hung up. She called back 11 times. I didn't answer. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. Update 3: Saturday came. I showed up with Jake and a U-Haul at 10 a.m. as promised. Brenna had clearly been crying. Her mom was there too, glaring at me like I'd committed murder. 2.5 years, her mom spat. You throw away 2.5 years over some stupid therapy thing? I didn't respond, just started loading boxes. That's when I noticed something. My gaming setup wasn't in the boxes where she'd put it. It wasn't anywhere in the living room. Where's my computer? I asked. Brenna shrugged. I donated it. You said you were leaving, so I figured you didn't want it. You what? Goodwill? Wednesday afternoon? Tax write-off and everything. Jake had to physically hold me back. Not from violence, I don't do that, but from saying something I'd regret. That was $3,000 worth of equipment. I managed. Should have thought about that before you humiliated me with that therapy stunt. Her mom chimed in. Honestly, you're lucky she's letting you take anything. This is her home. I pulled out my phone and showed Jake the photos I'd taken Monday night. Everything time-stamped. Can you confirm these items were here as of Monday evening? Definitely, Jake said loudly. I helped him build that setup, custom RGB configuration and everything. Brenna's face went pale. Are you seriously going to make this about money? You made it about money when you stole my property. It's not stealing if you abandoned it. I told you I'd be here Saturday. Today is Saturday. Her mom stepped forward. Just leave. You've done enough damage. But I wasn't done. See, while we were arguing, Jake was loading my stuff, and he noticed something. Yo, your golf clubs aren't here either. He called out. My $1,900 Callaway's birthday gift to myself last year. Where are my golf clubs, Brenna? She crossed her arms. I have no idea what you're talking about. Her mom smirked. Maybe you left them somewhere. You're so forgetful after all, too attached to remember where you put things. That's when Brenna's neighbor, Mrs. Chen, I know, but that's actually her name, poked her head out. Oh, Brenna, did your brother enjoy the golf clubs? He seemed so excited when he picked them up Thursday. The silence was deafening. Thanks, Mrs. Chen, I said cheerfully. That's very helpful information. Brenna's mom tried to usher Mrs. Chen inside, but the damage was done. So theft and fraud, I said, pulling up my recording app. Would you like to explain why you gave away my property to your brother? You're recording this? Brenna shrieked. One-party consent state, perfectly legal. Jake finished loading what was left of my stuff. It was maybe 60% of what I'd owned. My clothes, some books, kitchen stuff I'd bought, but all my electronics, sports equipment, even my damn air fryer, gone. As we were leaving, Brenna tried one last manipulation. You know nobody else will put up with you, right? Your weird meal prep obsession, your need to plan everything, your boring job. I was the best thing that ever happened to you. I turned back. Hey, Brenna? What? Check your email. Dr. Winters sent some additional resources for individual therapy. You should really look into that dismissive avoidant attachment style. Her face turned purple. Actually purple. Final update. Alright, this is the last update because I'm ready to move on, but y'all deserve to know how it ended. So I did some math. Between my gaming setup, golf clubs, TV, oh yeah, she donated that too, and various other missing items, we were looking at about $8,000 worth of stuff. I filed a police report for theft, sent them the photos, the recording of her admitting she gave my golf clubs to her brother, everything. But here's where Brenna really screwed herself. Remember that Cabo trip? The one her company was so insistent about? Well, Monday morning, she posted on Instagram about how empowered and free she felt being single. How she was ready to mingle in Cabo with all the eligible bachelor executives. Except, she'd already submitted my name as her +1 to her company. And the company had already booked non-refundable tickets. Her boss called her into a meeting Tuesday. Jake's girlfriend actually works at the same company, different department, and she gave me the tea. Apparently, Brenna had made a big deal about how stable and committed her relationship was during her performance review. Used it as evidence of her maturity and readiness for senior leadership. She'd even convinced them to upgrade her to a suite for the trip because couples need space. So when she showed up Tuesday morning asking to change her +1 to her friend Kendra, the irony, right? Her boss was confused. I thought you and your boyfriend were rock solid. You just told us last month you were probably getting engaged soon. Brenna tried to play it off, but then someone from HR mentioned they'd seen her Instagram post about being single and ready to mingle. Long story short, they didn't fire her, but she got a talking to about professionalism and representing the company values, and they refused to change the booking. She could either bring me, impossible, eat the cost of my ticket, or not go at all. She chose not to go. A mandatory leadership retreat that she skipped. For a promotion she'd been gunning for all year. But wait, there's more. Wednesday I got a call from the police. They'd contacted Brenna's brother about the golf clubs. He had no idea they were stolen. Told the cops Brenna said I wanted him to have them as a breakup gift because I felt bad about how things ended. He returned them immediately, even apologized to me personally, said his sister had always been complicated, but he never thought she'd steal. The detective suggested small claims court for the rest, so that's what I did. Filed Thursday, $8,000 plus filing fees. Friday evening, I get a text from an unknown number. It's her mom. You're really gonna sue her? After everything she did for you? She gave you a home. I responded, she charged me rent, $1,100 a month. I have receipts. That's just contributing to bills. The mortgage is $1,900. I was paying more than half for a place I don't even own. Should I forward these receipts to the court as well? She stopped texting after that. Yesterday, Brenna texted me from her friend's phone. A long, rambling message about how I orchestrated everything. How I'm a manipulative sociopath who planned this whole thing to embarrass her. How the therapy thing was emotional abuse, and I'm gaslighting her by pretending she was invited to sessions she never knew about. Then, at the very end, can we at least talk? I'm willing to return your stuff if you drop the lawsuit. I screenshotted it and sent it to my lawyer. Yeah, I got one. My sister's friend from law school, doing it for a reduced rate. He laughed. She just admitted in writing that she has your stuff and is using it as leverage. This is golden. I'm typing this from my sister's guest room. It's smaller than the setup I had at Brenna's, but you know what? I can put my gaming rig wherever I want. I can meal prep without someone mocking my containers. I can go to my friend's wedding without being guilted about priorities. Oh, and Kendra's wedding? It was beautiful. Gave my speech without worrying about someone sulking in the corner. Her new husband's sister is pretty cool too. We're getting coffee next week. The small claims hearing is in 3 weeks. Brenna's been served. Her Instagram went private after apparently all her coworkers found her single and ready to mingle post. The promotion she wanted went to someone else who actually attended the Cabo retreat. And the best part? Dr. Winter sent me a follow-up email, standard practice, asking about my progress post-termination. I told her I'm doing great. She said she's proud of my growth and boundaries. Also mentioned she received an interesting voicemail from my ex requesting my therapy records, which she obviously can't provide without my consent. I'm not giving consent. So yeah. Turns out I wasn't too attached after all. I was just too patient with someone who mistook kindness for weakness. To everyone saying I went too far with the therapy thing, maybe. But you know what? Sometimes when someone keeps pushing because they think you won't push back, you need to show them exactly how wrong they are. Not with anger or violence or cruelty, but with calm, calculated consequences. She thought I was too attached to leave. Turns out she was too entitled to see it coming. Edit. Small claims update coming after the hearing. And before anyone asks, yes, I'm keeping all the documentation in case she tries anything else. My lawyer says her text admitting she has my stuff basically seals the deal. Also, Jake's girlfriend says Brenna's been telling everyone at work that I emotionally manipulated her. But nobody's buying it after the Cabo incident. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Anyway, I'm done with this chapter. Time to rebuild my gaming setup with the insurance money. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, I had renter's insurance that covered theft, even by domestic partners. Another fun surprise for Brenna when they go after her for the claim.